Coming up next is the next round of the Motul Caterham 7 270R Championship here from Snetterton in Norfolk. After a double race victory last time at Alton Park, it's Justin Heap who heads the standings, arriving at this next round, with Daniel French and Daniel Halstead tied for second. Neil Fraser's not far behind, whilst Greg Monks is inside the top 5. Well, it is Justin Heap then who starts on pole position for this first race of the weekend, looking to try and take another race victory to extend his points advantage. Lights are out then, the rush towards riches begins, and is it going to be the pole sitter Heap that hangs on to the lead, or will Matt Shepherd in the yellow number 80 machine on the outside be able to sweep in front? He's going to try to do that, wheel to wheel through the corner, but I reckon that it was Justin Heap who held on. Everyone safely through the first quarter. Looks like they are. We're on board with Matt Shepherd now, the winner of our season opener at Silverstone earlier on this year. Trying to take his second win of the year, trying to go right around the outside at Wilson at the moment is Matt Shepherd, and it's a tricky move to make, but if he can make it stick, he'll have the inside line for the next corner. The yellow machine is still there, refusing to go away, and finally does find the inside line at a corner and moves into the race lead with Justin Heap in second position. We're on board with Daniel French now. 2 times a winner last time out, but it is a slightly lowly grid position that he finds himself working with here in the early stages. Finds a gap down the outside though. The blue and yellow car is possibly going to be able to gain a few positions as a result. Number 5 also trying the high, wide and handsome line. That's Greg Monks, who's lost a bit of ground from his 6th place starting position. Back with French then, through Hamilton, 5th place at the moment then for the man who is 2nd place in the championship arriving here at Snetterton. So Justin Heap at the moment is very much his target if he wants to try and close the margin on the outright championship leader. As we move now into the second half of the season, these championship points start to become more and more vital. I'm sure that will not be lost on the early season championship contenders. Slightly wide exit there from Williams for the number 19 machine as they rush out onto the back straight. That was Graham McDonald, the Scottish driver, back with French as the slipstream starts to take effect, and he goes 3 abreast up the inside to try and move into a podium position. This is brave stuff. The next corner is a right-hander, but he gets to the apex in 3rd position. That was brilliant stuff there. And Daniel French, a man on a mission at the moment as he tries to chase after the race leaders. Through the bomb hole, there goes the number 79 machine working its way through. Everyone has someone to battle with, including the race leaders, and the race lead changes again for, I'm sure, not the last time. As back out in front now is Justin Heap, with Matt Shepherd having been sort of sucked back into the pack somewhere along the way. So Matt Shepherd, despite grabbing the lead halfway around the opening lap, will not lead the end of the opening lap. At this rate, though, it might not be long before Daniel French is out in front. He is already in the tow in 3rd position. They could be almost 3 abreast by the time they reach the first corner. This is getting very close indeed. Daniel French finds a gap on the outside line, and they are 3 abreast into turn number 1. But it will be James Murphy, the orange and black number 3 car, that gets into the lead of the race. Matt Shepherd, the yellow machine, trying to fight back as well. This is breathless stuff, as we anticipated here at Snetterton, a circuit that is custom-made almost for Caterham racing. And we expect this leading group of, a dozen or so cars to stay just as tightly bunched right the way through the race. So Murphy leads the way, French in 2nd position, Matt Shepherd there, the yellow machine, is 3rd, and Justin Heap, who led at the end of the opening lap, 3 corners ago, is now off the podium already. He's trying to fight back again though, up the inside into Agostini. Is he going to go through on the inside of Shepherd? It looks like he will. 5th position meanwhile is Tom Allen there, the red and black machine. Board again with French then, who's done a lot of the hard work already then on that opening lap just to get to this leading group of cars. Off onto the grass though goes Justin Heap, and he did well to hang on to the car. Will he be able to hang on to 3rd place? Remarkably, it looks like he will. He was not going to allow Matt Shepherd through without a fight, despite the fact he'd just been on the grass, despite the fact that he had dirt all over his tyres. Justin Heap was still able to fight back at the inside of Oggies and hold on to 3rd position. You can see the damage that it's done though. It's allowed these two, James Murphy, race leader, and Daniel French, to pull away. Daniel French moving through into the race lead and gesticulating furiously at James Murphy, saying, "Don't race me, let's work together and continue to build this advantage, and then in the second half of the race we can settle it between ourselves." Tom Allen there moving into 4th position meanwhile, as I sort of anticipated Justin Heap may struggle to hang on to that 3rd place with the effect of the slipstream down the Bentley Straight. That was indeed the case. And not only is he off the podium, but the battle for the bottom step of the podium is now some way behind the leading 2. Shepherd it is that is 3rd, Allen 4th, and then Justin Heap in 5th position. So if things finished as they are now, Daniel French might be able to move into the points lead actually, especially if he could hang on to the race lead. But of course there is still plenty of time for Justin Heap to regain some of the lost ground. Number Number 11, Chris Moore, is a part of that gaggle as well. Started 4th, dropped now down to about 6th or 7th place. And we're going to have another lead change here into Rich's corner. James Murphy does go through. Now, I know that Daniel French was gesticulating that they should work together, but actually that overtake did not hurt them particularly because it was done in a straight line. Daniel French, meanwhile, further back, around goes Neil Fraser, and someone else was off in avoidance there, I think. Neil Fraser, the 25 car, is pointing the right way, but I fear they have stalled the engine. Gets it fired back up again, but look at the ground that it's lost him. In a field this tightly bunched, you cannot afford to have a moment like that because you will lose heaps and heaps of places. Screeching of tyres tells you there weren't more cars on the way though, so he's not right down to the back of the field. Let's see how he got there. Contact there from the car on the inside line, which was the number 5 car, and that was Greg Monks. So Greg Monks, who had already found himself a bit further down the order than he would have liked, unfortunately then gets himself involved in some contact as well. Right then, on to the final lap of the race. And look at this, Matt Shepherd has been able to reel in the top 2. It's Daniel French who is out in front then, with second place being held by James Murphy, but Shepherd, the man on the move here. Daniel French leading the way. Broke his finger actually yesterday working on the car, so he's driving injured, but driving well nonetheless. Can he hang on to this race lead now for the remaining 2/3 of the final lap? You have to worry whether or not he's going to be a sitting duck in the slipstream down the back straight, but he'll right now be quite happy to see the arrival of Matt Shepherd, because that will now apply a bit of pressure to James Murphy, and it might keep James preoccupied enough to allow Daniel French to scoot away up into the distance. That perhaps is a bit optimistic, and sideways moments like that won't help Daniel particularly. Catching slides like that with the injury he's got probably are not that easy either, so really impressive performance this for Daniel French. Now we're heading on to the most crucial part of the racetrack on this final lap, the back straight underneath the circuit bridge, and here comes the move from James Murphy, and it looks as though Matt Shepherd is there as well. Murphy goes through, and Daniel French is powerless to defend in a straight line. Has he got enough time to try and get this race lead back, I wonder, through the left-hander at Brundle? Both cars squirming around, and Matt Shepherd is still around here somewhere, but he must still be behind us, with French in second position then, through the bomb hole. 3 more corners to go, closing in. You can't really overtake at Caterham, or can you? Daniel French tries, but the door is very firmly shut in his face there by James Murphy. It will all come down, I think, to the drag to the start-finish line. There is enough time, potentially, between the exit of this corner, Murray's, and the checkered flag for Daniel French, or maybe even Matt Shepherd, to launch one last slingshot attempt to get through. It looks as though French might be able to do it. He's in the tow, he pulls out. The checkered flag is coming. Who's going to get the race victory? It's a photo finish. They're both celebrating, but I think it was Daniel French who just about managed to grab it on the line. Phenomenal racing. Meanwhile, further back, it's almost as close. These are battles outside the top 10. The 9 car of Jimmy Bevan there was chasing down the slightly damaged machine, I think, of Toby Close. But Daniel French, broken finger or not, is a race winner by a very narrow margin indeed. And there's time for one late drama. David Spare goes around at the final turn. He was running at the back of the field anyway, but still pushing hard. And another rotation, unfortunately, not the ideal end to his race. This was the perfect end to the race, though, for Daniel French. Look at that. That is what 6/1000ths of a second looks like. It's an inch or two at most, but it is French who comes out on top. Justin Heap manages to salvage a top 5 with Tom Allen in 4th position. Matt Shepherd did well to get onto the podium. It's Daniel French who beats James Murphy to the flag.
What an amazing race, especially with a broken finger. Top man.
Thank you very much. I didn't think it was possible. The finger was really been hurting me. I busted it on an axle stand yesterday. I've been in A&E. I've got an operation on Monday at 10 o'clock. I cancelled the operation yesterday so I can come racing. I never ever thought in a million years that I could win a race with a busted finger, but there you go. James drove really well. I just managed to out-tow him just up the start-finish straight. I'm lost for words. Buzzing.
Well, after a slightly disappointing first race result for Justin Heap, a win in race 2 means he retains the points lead by now a reduced margin, just 10 points over Daniel French, who was on the podium again in the second race. So Daniel French and Justin Heap share the wins between themselves and start to stretch their advantage at the top of the points.